AITA for canceling my wedding after my fiancé's mom tried to control my prenup. I, 29F, just called off my wedding that was supposed to happen in 3 weeks. My ex-fiancé Marcus, 31M, his entire family, and even some of my own relatives are calling me dramatic, irrational, and cruel. I'm second-guessing everything, so I need outside perspective. Marcus and I met 4 years ago through mutual friends. He's a software engineer, I'm a corporate attorney. We clicked immediately, shared interests, similar values, great chemistry. After dating for 2 years, he proposed on a weekend trip to Napa Valley. It was romantic, thoughtful, and everything I'd hoped for. We set a wedding date for this June and started planning what was supposed to be a beautiful celebration with 150 guests. From the beginning, Marcus's mother Linda, 58F, has been involved. Very involved. She had opinions about everything: the venue, too modern, not elegant enough. My dress, a bit revealing for a church wedding, don't you think? The flowers, roses are so overdone. The guest list, you can't possibly invite only 150 people. We have family obligations. I tried to be understanding. She's Marcus's mother. She's excited about her son getting married. She wants to feel included. Marcus would always mediate, saying, "Mom just wants to help," or "She means well, she's just particular about things." But it got increasingly exhausting. Linda would call me multiple times a week with suggestions that felt more like demands. She'd forward me Pinterest boards with the right way to do table settings. She'd send articles about proper wedding etiquette that just happened to contradict every choice I'd made. The breaking point, or what I thought was the breaking point, came 6 weeks ago when Marcus and I decided to get a prenup. Let me be clear. I wanted the prenup. I make about $210,000 as a senior associate at my firm, and I'm on track to make partner in the next 2 years, which would put me at $400,000 plus. Marcus makes about $180,000. We're both financially comfortable, but I also have a trust fund for my grandmother worth about $800,000 that I want to protect. My parents had a messy divorce when I was a teenager, and watching my mom get financially devastated made me determined to protect myself. Marcus was initially hesitant about a prenup. He said it felt unromantic, and like I was planning for divorce before we even got married. But after several conversations about my family history and my need for security, he agreed. We decided to each hire attorneys to draft something fair and reasonable. My attorney drafted a straightforward prenup. We keep what we came into the marriage with. Anything earned during the marriage is community property, standard stuff. Marcus said he wanted his mom to look it over since she's been through a divorce and knows about these things. Red flag number 1 that I ignored. Why would his mother need to review our private financial agreement? But I agreed because Marcus seemed to think it would make the process smoother. Big mistake. 2 weeks later, Marcus sent me a revised version of the prenup. I opened it, started reading, and felt my stomach drop. The document was 47 pages long. My attorney's version had been 12 pages. I started reading through the additions, and I genuinely could not believe what I was seeing. Section 4.2, Physical Appearance Standards, Party B, that's me, agrees to maintain her current weight, plus or minus 10 pounds, throughout the marriage. Party B will weigh in weekly, with records maintained by Party A. Failure to maintain agreed-upon weight standards may result in financial penalties as outlined in Section 12.3. Exceptions will be made for pregnancy, with a requirement to return to pre-pregnancy weight within 12 months of giving birth. Section 5.7. Career limitations. Party B agrees that any career advancement or job changes must be approved by Party A and his family. Party B will not accept any position requiring more than 50 hours per week or significant travel without written consent from Party A. Party B acknowledges that family obligations take precedence over career ambitions. Section 6.1. Household Management. Party B will be responsible for all cooking, cleaning, and household management, regardless of working hours. Party A's mother will have the right to inspect the home monthly to ensure cleanliness and organizational standards are met. Section 7.4. Family Planning. Party B agrees to have children within 2 years of marriage. The number and spacing of children will be determined by mutual agreement between Party A and his family. Party B will not seek permanent birth control without written permission from Party A. Section 8.2. Social media and public presence. Party B will not post any content on social media without Party A's approval. Party B will maintain a public image that reflects positively on Party A's family. Any posts deemed inappropriate or damaging to the family reputation may result in financial penalties. Section 9.9. Dispute resolution and obedience. In cases of disagreement between Party A and Party B, Party A's mother will serve as final arbiter. Party B acknowledges Party A as head of household and agrees to defer to his judgment in all major decisions. There was more, so much more, but I couldn't keep reading. My hands were shaking. I called Marcus immediately. "Did you read the prenup revisions your mom made?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "Mom made some suggestions to protect our family," he said carefully. "I think some of them are reasonable." "Reasonable?" "Marcus, she wants to weigh me weekly. She wants veto power over my career. She wants to inspect our home monthly. She's just trying to make sure we have a solid foundation." "This isn't a foundation. This is indentured servitude. These aren't prenup clauses, they're control mechanisms." "You're being dramatic. A lot of marriages have expectations about household duties and family planning. Mom just wanted them in writing, so there's no confusion." I was so shocked I couldn't even respond. This was my fiancé, the man I was supposed to marry in 6 weeks, defending his mother's attempt to contractually obligate me to weekly weigh-ins and obedience. "I'm not signing this," I said. "Not any version of this. This is insane. Can we at least compromise? Maybe remove some of the clauses you're most uncomfortable with, but keep the ones about family planning and household duties? Mom worked really hard on this." "Your mother worked hard on our prenup? Do you hear yourself? She's just looking out for us. She doesn't want to see me get hurt like my dad did when he divorced her." "Marcus, your dad divorced your mom because she was controlling and impossible to live with. He's told me that himself." Silence. "Then, my dad doesn't understand what Mom sacrificed for our family." That's when I realized how deep this went. Marcus wasn't just a mama's boy. He was fully enmeshed with her, unable to see how inappropriate and controlling her behavior was. "I need some time to think," I told him and hung up. I called my attorney, told her about the revisions, and asked if she'd ever seen anything like this. "In 15 years of practice, I've never seen anything this controlling in a prenup," she said. "These aren't standard clauses. These are abusive. Weight requirements? Monthly home inspections? A clause about obedience? This document reads like it was written by someone who wants to own you, not marry you." His mother wrote most of it. That's even more concerning. Your fiancé allowed his mother to dictate the terms of your marriage. And the fact that he's defending these clauses? That's a massive red flag. She was right. I knew she was right. But I was supposed to get married in 6 weeks. The venue was booked, deposits were paid, invitations were sent. My dress was altered and ready. How could I just walk away? I decided to try one more conversation with Marcus. We met at a coffee shop the next day, neutral territory. "I've been thinking about the prenup," I started. "I need you to understand how serious this is. Those clauses your mom added aren't just uncomfortable, they're degrading and controlling. If you can't see that, we have a major problem." "I talked to Mom," he said. "She's willing to remove the weight clause and the monthly home inspections. She thinks you overreacted, but she wants to compromise." "She's willing to compromise?" "Marcus, this is our marriage, not hers. Why is your mother negotiating the terms of our prenup?" "Because she's family and family helps each other." "Why are you being so hostile to someone who just wants to help?" "This isn't help. This is control. And the fact that you can't see the difference terrifies me." He got defensive. "Maybe if you weren't so obsessed with your career and maintaining your independence, you'd understand that marriage is about compromise and putting family first." "I'm not obsessed with my career. I'm financially independent and proud of what I've built. And putting family first shouldn't mean giving up my autonomy." "See, this is exactly what Mom said would happen. She said you're too independent, that you'd never be able to submit to being a wife." I stared at him.
"Submit?"
Is that what you think marriage is? Submission. Not submission exactly, but there has to be structure. Someone has to lead the family, and traditionally. If you finish that sentence with "the man leads," I'm walking out right now. He finished it. I walked out. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about all the little moments over the past 2 years that I'd brushed aside. Linda calling Marcus multiple times a day, and him always answering, even during our dates. Linda having opinions about my hair, my clothes, my career choices. Marcus always taking her side in any disagreement. The fact that Linda had a key to Marcus's apartment and would let herself in without calling first. I told myself it would get better after we were married, that Marcus would set boundaries once we were officially a family unit. But that prenup proved the opposite. It was going to get worse. The next morning, I made a decision. I called Marcus and asked him to come over. I needed to know one thing before I made it final. Did your mom write anything else for our wedding? I asked when he arrived. What do you mean? Did she write any of your vows? Your speech? Anything else? He hesitated. Just for a second, but I saw it. Marcus, did your mother write your wedding vows? She helped, he admitted. I'm not good with words, and she offered to help me express my feelings. Oh my God. What's the big deal? She knows me better than anyone. She knew what I wanted to say. Your mother wrote the vows you're supposed to say to me? She helped write them. I approved everything. Show me. Show me the vows right now. He pulled out his phone and showed me a Google Doc titled Marcus's Wedding Vows, Final Draft. I started reading. Emma, from the moment I saw you, I knew you were the woman my mother raised me to find. Someone intelligent, accomplished, and beautiful, but also someone willing to learn what it means to be a true partner and wife. I promise to lead our family with wisdom and strength. I promise to provide for you and protect you, as long as you honor and respect me and the family we're building together. I promise to be patient as you learn to balance your career ambitions with your duties as a wife and, God willing, a mother. I know it won't always be easy for you to put family first, but I believe in your ability to grow into the role. My mother has shown me what a devoted wife looks like, and I'm grateful that you're willing to follow her example. Together, with her guidance, we'll build a marriage that honors God and family. I take you as my wife, to have and to hold, to guide and to cherish, for better or worse, as long as we both shall live. I read it 3 times. Each time, I felt sicker. These vows are about your mother, not me, I said quietly. You promise to lead me and be patient while I learn to be a wife. You reference your mother's example. You talk about her guidance in our marriage. They're traditional vows. What's wrong with that? Everything. Traditional vows are about partnership and love, not about one person learning to submit to the other while their mother-in-law supervises. You're twisting everything. Mom helped me write something beautiful, and you're making it sound sinister. Marcus, do you even want to marry me? Or do you want to marry someone who'll be the daughter-in-law your mother wants? Why can't you be both? That answer told me everything I needed to know. I can't do this, I said. I can't marry you. I'm calling off the wedding. His face went pale. You can't be serious. Because of some vows. Because of all of it. The prenup, the vows, the constant involvement of your mother in every aspect of our relationship, your inability to set any boundaries with her, your belief that I need to learn to be a wife and submit to your leadership. This isn't a partnership. It's a dictatorship with your mother as the real head of state. Emma, please. We can work this out. I'll rewrite the vows. We'll do a simpler prenup. Just don't call off the wedding. It's not about the vows or the prenup anymore. It's about the fact that you don't see anything wrong with any of this. You think your mother dictating the terms of our marriage is normal. You think asking me to weigh in weekly and get approval for my career choices is reasonable. You think marriage means I submit to you while you both monitor whether I'm being a good wife. I can't marry someone who thinks that's love. He started crying. I love you. Please don't do this. If you loved me, you would have shut down your mother's prenup the second you saw it. If you loved me, you would have written your own vows about our relationship, not about me learning to meet your mother's standards. I'm sorry, Marcus, but this is over. He left, and I immediately started making calls. I called the venue, the caterer, the florist, the photographer, everyone. Canceling a wedding with 3 weeks' notice is expensive and complicated, but I didn't care. I'd rather lose the deposits than spend the rest of my life being monitored and controlled. I sent a message to the wedding group chat. Marcus and I have decided to call off the wedding. We apologize for any inconvenience. Please do not reach out asking for details. We need privacy during this time. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Linda called me 17 times in 1 hour. I didn't answer. She left voicemails ranging from pleading, "Please don't throw away this relationship over a misunderstanding," to angry, "You're making the biggest mistake of your life," to manipulative, "Marcus is devastated. How can you be so cruel?" Marcus's dad called, his father who's been divorced from Linda for 8 years, and said, "I tried to warn Marcus that his mother would ruin this relationship eventually. I'm sorry she got her claws in. You're making the right choice." That validation from someone who knew Linda well helped, but it didn't make the fallout any easier. My own mother was supportive but concerned about the financial loss from canceled deposits. "Are you sure?" she kept asking. "Maybe couples therapy could help." My best friend Zara was unequivocally supportive. That prenup was insane. And the vows? Girl, run. Run fast and far. But other friends and relatives were less understanding. Several people sent messages saying I was overreacting, that all mothers-in-law are difficult, that I should have tried harder to compromise, that calling off a wedding 3 weeks out was dramatic and cruel. Marcus's sister called crying, saying I was breaking her brother's heart and ruining their family. "Mom's just protective," she said. "She doesn't mean any harm. Can't you just humor her a little?" "Your mom wanted to weigh me weekly and have veto power over my career," I said. "That's not protective. That's controlling. She just has high standards. She wants the best for Marcus. Then Marcus should find someone who's okay being controlled and monitored. That's not me." Linda posted on Facebook, "Heartbroken doesn't even begin to describe what our family is going through. When you open your heart and home to someone, only to be rejected and have your love thrown back in your face. I'm praying for healing for all involved, especially my son who loved so deeply and trusted so completely." The post got dozens of comments from people who didn't know the full story, saying things like, "So sorry for your loss," and "Some people don't appreciate what they have, and your son deserves better." I was tempted to post the prenup clauses and the vows to show people what I was throwing back at her face, but my attorneys strongly advised against it. "Don't engage," she said. "Let them tell their version. People who matter will believe you." But it was hard. So hard. I was grieving the relationship, dealing with the logistics of canceling a wedding, and being painted as the villain by Marcus's family, and even some of my own extended family. 3 days after calling off the wedding, I was at work trying to focus on a brief, when my secretary buzzed me. "There's a Linda Patterson here to see you. She doesn't have an appointment, but she says it's urgent." My blood ran cold. Linda had come to my office. I considered having security remove her, but part of me wanted to face her. To make it absolutely clear that I wasn't backing down. "Send her in." Linda walked into my office looking immaculate as always, tailored dress, perfect hair, practiced smile. But her eyes were hard. "Emma, we need to talk." "I don't think we have anything to talk about, Linda. You're making a terrible mistake. Marcus loves you. I've welcomed you into our family. And you're throwing it away over what? Some clauses in a prenup that were meant to protect everyone. Those clauses were meant to control me. And you know it. I was trying to ensure a stable marriage. I've been through a divorce. I know what happens when there are no clear expectations. Clear expectations are things like, we'll both contribute to household chores, or we'll make financial decisions together. They're not, you'll maintain your current weight and submit to your husband's authority while I inspect your home monthly. You're twisting everything. Those clauses were about setting standards and maintaining respect. Linda, I'm not going to argue about this. The wedding is canceled. Marcus and I are done. I'm asking you to leave my office. You'll regret this, she said, her voice dropping. You're not getting any younger. You think you'll find someone better? Someone who's willing to put up with your career obsession and your independence. I'd rather be alone than be controlled. You're going to end up alone and bitter, wondering why you threw away a good man because you couldn't handle a little compromise. A little compromise would be agreeing on whether to have a DJ or a band at the wedding. What you wanted wasn't compromise, it was capitulation. Now please leave before I call security. She stared at me for a long moment, then smiled coldly. Marcus deserves so much better than you. I always knew it, but I was willing to give you a chance. Thank God he's seeing your true colors before it's too late. She left. I sat at my desk and shook for 20 minutes before I could focus on work again. That evening, Marcus sent me a long text. I've been doing a lot of thinking. Maybe some of Mom's prenup suggestions were too much. I'm willing to go back to your original simple prenup. And I'll write my own vows, no help from anyone. Can we please try again? I love you. I don't want to lose you over this. I stared at that text for a long time. Part of me, the part that had loved him for 4 years, that had imagined a whole life together, wanted to say yes. Wanted to believe he'd finally seen the light. But I kept thinking about his initial defense of those prenup clauses. His insistence that they were reasonable. The fact that he only offered to change them now after I'd called off the wedding and he was facing actual consequences. He didn't think the prenup was wrong. He thought I was wrong for objecting to it. And if I went back, he'd always think I was difficult and dramatic for not just accepting his mother's help. I texted back, I appreciate that you're willing to compromise now. But the problem isn't just the prenup or the vows. The problem is that you didn't see anything wrong with them until I threatened to leave. You think your mother's involvement in every aspect of our relationship is normal. You think it's reasonable for her to dictate terms of our marriage. I can't build a life with someone who will always prioritize his mother's opinions over our partnership. I'm sorry, but my answer is still no. His response, you're going to regret this. You're throwing away someone who truly loves you because you're too stubborn and independent to accept help and guidance from family. Good luck finding someone who'll put up with your need to control everything. I didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. Over the next week, I settled into my decision. Yes, it hurt. Yes, I mourned the relationship and the future I'd imagined. But I also felt this overwhelming sense of relief. Like I'd narrowly escaped something that would have destroyed me slowly over years. My therapist helped me process it all. She pointed out patterns I'd missed. Linda's constant boundary violations, Marcus's inability to say no to her, the gradual escalation of control disguised as caring. That prenup was probably just the beginning, my therapist said. If you'd signed it, even a modified version, you would have established that Linda had a say in your marriage. And she would have kept pushing boundaries, when to have kids, how to raise them, where to live, how to decorate your home. It never would have ended. She was right. I knew she was right.